The first time the woman went to court with her husband, her legs went weak and she almost collapsed on the floor because the emperor on the throne was none other than her ex-husband. She quickly turned to her current husband and left what she thought might be her last words, saying that after she died, he should remember to burn a little more money for her every Qingming. She was sure the emperor wanted her dead, and to understand why, we have to go back to the beginning. A year ago the emperor was still a crown prince. He was injured in a small village and saved by the local beauty. The two spent their days together. Feelings naturally grew, and before long they were married. 3 months later, the girl discovered that her husband was actually a man of great wealth and status. He left behind 10,000 taels of gold as a breakup gift, then turned and walked away without looking back. The village girl cried until her heart broke, saying love mattered more than gold. A woman watching nearby couldn't stand it and told her not to waste tears on a heartless man. The girl flew into a rage, grabbed her hairpin and stabbed her. The woman's last thought before dying was all about that pile of gold. When she opened her eyes again, she had been reborn. Back to the day the prince first entered the village, determined to get the 10,000 taels. She sprinted faster than anyone in the village, intercepted the injured man, and claimed that she was the one who had saved him. Her name was Zhu Xiaoyun. She mimicked the original girl's gentle tone and pretended to be deeply moved, waiting for the day he revealed his true identity and rewarded her with gold. That night she overheard a group of men in black talking about taking her back to the palace as a concubine, but the prince dismissed the idea, saying she was just a coarse country girl and that giving her 10,000 taels was already generous. Hearing that, Zhu Xiaoyun almost laughed out loud. The gold was as good as hers. Knowing he planned to leave at midnight, she rushed out and kissed him several times just to make sure he remembered her. The next morning, her world turned upside down because she never formally married the prince. Her stepmother sold her to the local magistrate, who planned to marry her that very day. Her half-sister mocked her, calling her cheap hairpin a worthless trinket, and tried to snap it in half. Zhu Xiaoyun broke into a cold sweat. That hairpin was her proof of reward. Just then an arrow whistled through the air, pinning the half-sister to a tree. The shooter was the very man who had vanished last night. He shouted that even his gifts were not for others to touch. The magistrate took one look at his jade pendant and dropped to his knees, because this man was the crown prince himself. Zhu Xiaoyun's mind went blank except for one thought: gold. So she stabbed herself in the leg and cried that he had lied to her all along. The prince felt guilty and immediately rewarded her with 10,000 taels. Looking at the golden ingots piled before her, she could hardly hold back her grin. To send the prince away, she pretended to be heartbroken, snapped the hairpin in half, and said she would never bother him again. The prince turned away in anger, telling her to live her life with the gold. He actually wanted to bring her back to the palace, but halfway there, he started overthinking. She must have pushed him away because she felt unworthy. She was probably crying and waiting for him to return. He had no idea she had already fled with the gold. When his men finally found her stepmother, the woman said she left smiling ear to ear. The prince's pride shattered. He roared that she had never loved him and ordered his men to search the world until she was found. By then Zhu Xiaoyun was far away, dragging the original village girl with her. After all, the money had been meant for her anyway. On the road they met a starving scholar heading to the capital for the imperial exam. He had no travel money. Zhu